podcast will go on. Don't worry.
There is we didn't even say that. There will be a little feeling of loss, but honestly, I had a lot more angst about it before we had this meeting because of like, I think I'm telling everybody, I'm telegraphing what this is all about, but they're still like, it was still, some.
I think it was the mechanics that everyone was really concerned about, and what exactly does it look like.
I know. I said I feel like I'm attending my own wake, but it's not that.
It wasn't that. You said it that at the beginning.
Arizona is a wildly beautiful place, brimming with over 100 brewing companies. I'm Rob Fulmer, the Executive Director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild. I'm joined by Deputy Director Andrew Bauman.
Hey, Rob.
Together we cover the state, bringing you the best of what's happening at our breweries and beyond. Welcome to Arizona Beer Frontier.
Hey, Rob.
Andrew Bauman.
What's going on, man?
It's like we don't even need any banter anymore. We're
We just did like 3.5 hours of banter. What are you talking about?
Yes, we're just coming off a 10 o'clock meeting.
That's right. It is now 2:40, and we just finished our 10 o'clock meeting.
Well, there's the meeting.
There was lunch.
And then there's the sort of breakout groups of the meeting, which occur in the meeting. They don't actually leave.
Yeah.
There's side discussions.
We had a couple breakouts. Then we had a little bit of beverage.
Tea break, and then we finished the meeting, and we created a whole nother meeting.
Right.
After the meeting.
And then made a phone call for a whole nother meeting after that.
We did, yeah.
So it's been quite a day.
Yeah, it's...
is that a Milwaukee Brewers bracelet you're wearing? That's pretty nice, bro.
Both of these bracelets are crafted by a local artist.
A local artist, that's me.
Yeah. And I have to wear it on my watch side because if I wear it on this side, it's just too distracting for me. I don't know why.
Sometimes it bugs me too, and I move it.
Yeah.
Generally, though, I just live with it.
It being October, tell me about the Brewers.
Oh, the Milwaukee Brewers are playing baseball today, even though it's October 2nd. It's playoffs.
Yeah.
It's the wild card series right now. Yesterday, they lost to the New York Mets 8-4. The Mets coming off a doubleheader Monday and having played in Milwaukee the 3 days before that. So they should be real tired, but their bats were not tired.
So the Mets being in, that means that the Diamondbacks are out.
Sad but true. Although, even if the Mets were in, the Diamondbacks could still have been in on Monday on that doubleheader with Atlanta.
But they split the doubleheader.
Yeah, if the Mets had taken both games, the D-backs would be in.
Right. So what's the motivation to win both games? There wasn't any.
No.
And the motivation, I win, we're in, and now I'm going to play all the scrubs so everyone gets rest.
That's correct.
And if they were against the Braves?
Yeah.
If the Braves would have won, the same math works the same way, right?
Correct. If they won both, then the Braves would have been in and the Mets would have been out. So the Braves had to win the second game in order to get in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So they had some incentive.
Correct.
But they're losers. They lost. They had their destiny in their hands and they lost.
No, they're in.
The Braves.
Yes. They're in.
That's what I thought. See, if they split.
If they're split, they're both in.
Yeah.
If one of them
So why would
sweeps-
they? Yeah. So if the Braves would have won the first game, they could have said, "We're in, and now we're going to play our scrubs."
Correct.
So that was a lose going in. I don't know why anyone held out hope. My perception of that was correct. Obviously, I'm not a genius in baseball. Everyone else felt that way too.
I'm just feeling a little bit crushed from yesterday's game, where should have been a relatively easiest of the three games for the Milwaukee Brewers because they had a day off, whereas the Mets had to play a doubleheader the day before.
Right.
And they had to travel twice, where the Brewers didn't have to travel at all.
Right. Well,
they should be tired.
Well, the
but
Mets
they're
played
not.
all their scrubs the second game.
Well, it doesn't matter because then they came back on yesterday and crushed the Brewers. So,
they had a day.
And this has been Baseball Talk. Thank you for joining us.
Right. Yeah, I don't.
Yesterday I was wearing all my baseball stuff, but today I had meetings, so I couldn't.
Yeah. Oh, you know what part of the post drinks meeting was? Hey, you guys should do like summer movie reviews. I'm like,
That was a little joke,
I know. I'm like,
but it was pretty funny.
It was
we'll do
like-
baseball reviews. How about that?
I'm like, oh, so is that administrative? Or is that an administrative function of it?
I know.
I'm
what
like,
you're
I
saying.
said,
Come on,
I would have had to watch movies.
It was a single purpose board meeting, so let's not get too detailed on what went down there.
Right.
It's not time yet, although there is a whole board right there in the
Can you see
frame.
that? Oh yeah. Yeah.
But that's
no,
fine. It's
no.
just-
I'm actually excited that there is
Yeah.
this kind of
it's
activity.
brainstorming and written down, and that's
Right.
great for our organization. And there's nothing that's proprietary there.
No. Okay. I mean, I see the word Baja, Real Wild Woody.
It has all the festivals listed, and it says bank account balance, future events, dues.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, there's nothing that's proprietary.
I know.
there,
I know.
but-
It sounds like we're goofing our board now, but no,
No,
I was very
nice.
super excited that they had all this energy and we went all over the place, which is fine. But the purpose of the meeting, Andrew Bauman,
Yeah.
and I'm just realizing now, and I'm not going to probably get to it for quite a while.
Are we
is
talking about that now?
I thought that's
Seems
what we were
early.
doing.
I thought Sunday was the announcement. We can't pre-announce it on the pod. 4 people will know.
I think we should say. I don't know.
That's a next week thing.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Okay, do it. I don't.
because next week we're going to be where?
At GABF. We're
Yeah,
gonna be
the
recording
great-
from the hall.
Right.
We need to work something out on that. I need to make a note.
Really? You don't think we should talk about this? It was voted on, and it was something that's been in the works. And
But we haven't announced it to our members yet, so it's kind of weird to just put it out to the public before we tell our members.
well, the members of the public too. Well, here's the thing. What is it? Today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
You have the Thursday
No,
at
yeah.
midnight to get. the word
Today's
out to our members.
Wednesday.
Oh.
Look, it says right there, Wednesday, October 2nd.
Oh, all right. Well, you have till we can hold this episode till Thursday evening. Put it out in an email.
But Sunday is when the. Oh, you say announce this earlier? No, that's Sunday. That's Sunday. It's an in-person announcement at the thing.
No,
Come on.
I think we have to. We have to put out a. We have to put out a printed piece, which could go in an announcement on tomorrow morning, and then this pod gets released tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow
Okay.
evening.
All right. Fair enough.
Because
I mean,
because-
that
because
makes
as you-
logical sense.
as you know, you have to say things several times. It will be definitely news to people on Sunday who are attending
'Cause they won't have read
they
my
won't read
email?
their email. And like,
Yeah, I would like to always believe they're going to read my email.
even though you have the metrics to disprove your hope and belief, but yeah, you have a way
MailChimp
to
is
see
good
it.
at letting me know those things.
Yeah, so we talk about it. Because here's the thing, I've been operating under the assumption this was going to happen for a long time, and I've been trying to structure things around it. And this actually goes back prior to you being hired. Is how do we address the fact that the industry is changing, and that we need to have a succession plan for the organization, for everybody, and we need to signal, where the growth is, and that we're, I don't know. I'm just bloviating till we announce. So let me be the first to say, Andrew Bauman, you are
Hey.
the new director of the Arizona Craft Brewers Guild, the executive director.
Oh, thanks.
Right.
Great.
Congratulations.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah.
Congratulations on your new role as the Director of Government Affairs and Community Relations.
The funny thing is you got that right on the first time.
I know.
And we can't even get our tagline right. We've said it 121 times.
Well,
And
I
you-
read
this
this
never came out of your mouth
because
before.
I read this.
Yeah. So yes, I am going to focus full time on government affairs and community relations. And you have been doing this job as the deputy director for how long?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. And,
It's so crazy because it doesn't even feel that long.
It does not. And, when we had a vacancy, we had an opportunity to do a number of different things. And at that time, even though I didn't say anything, I've been talking about maybe stepping back and retiring in like 3 years, 2 years now, maybe less than that, for a little bit. And that was always in my mind. But I'm like, if we're going to hire somebody, let's hire somebody who can step into the role for any number of reasons. And you were available, and I don't know that people understand that. Like, they're like, "Oh, what happens if Rob gets hit by a bus?" I'm like, I'm pretty sure that Andrew could figure this out, especially after doing this for 2.5 years. You probably could have done it after 6 months, but like, it was important for people to understand, like, if you make a decision, if someone contacts you, that we were going to back that up.
Right.
Because,
and you have said that from day one when I started, is everything you say is the same as me saying it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, we had the good fortune of understanding each other because you were on the board before that, and because we have known each other for a long time. And I think we share the same mission personally to not only support Arizona breweries, but to support business in Arizona, and to make the lives that we built here as families for it to be better. And I feel like if we can celebrate, if we can support the businesses that we do, like, we're going to make Arizona a better place. We share that, even though we probably haven't stated it to each other directly a lot. But, in this last couple of years, I've had to spend more time with my family, my parents who've had some challenges ahead. And, so I've needed to take some time away. Also, it gave me some liberty to take advantage of the things I like to do, traveling and doing things that directors just don't have time to do as a small organization. The things that we're doing kind of track with guilds that have 4 or 5 times more breweries than we do, that might have, instead of 2 people, might have 4 or 5 people involved. And it's time that I step away, even though we're in sync on a lot of things, for you to have the responsibility and the explicit control. I mean, it was not explicit to a lot of people, but people contact you directly, and people contact me directly. But you're going to be the guy, and if you're going to have the risk, you need the reward. So it's all those things. And I would like to, this is a unique opportunity for me to spend 100% of my time on the things that it takes to be an advocate at the public policy, government affairs, community relations side. Obviously, I will still be here to represent the guild publicly, to be a resource for you, or in the rest of the board. I'm not walking away. There's a timeline that I have in my mind, and there's some uncertainty about it for sure. But the opportunity is to have somebody take advantage of all the connections they have and spend more time on those, and see if there's some. There definitely will be an advantage in dealing with legislation and policy, and spending more times with cities and towns and counties to work on more services for our members, because all those things are important relationships for someone in this role. The second thing is hopefully work with more business councils and more business-oriented groups, and maybe we can get some, more engagement from sponsorship, and hopefully get some of the things on track that we haven't been able to do in a while. And that's just because this is an enormous job. And the board is asking you to redefine the position.
We talked a little bit about today's meeting wasn't to wrap up any of these future, what does the guild look like things exactly, but definitely get the conversation started on what are the priorities for us as an organization, and how do we want to make sure that those things are getting done without getting basically caught up in all the minutia of how to do it, I think is kind of the way
Right.
currently our number one priority is revenue.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
It's nothing shameful to say.
No, I
We
mean,
need to make some money.
all of the things that maybe you're seeing in the industry, there was somebody in the industry who's like, oh my God, we're losing on these breweries. Why? And like, there was a bunch of good answers in that thread I saw, and there were some not so great answers, excuse me. And we're not immune to those things.
All those things hit us first before they hit breweries, and they all get away from us last after the breweries have already gone through it.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, just functionally, it was important that, I'm still going to contribute, but I won't be speaking as the director. And, I've kind of like been through this self-examination period with my parents and, how I'm going to manage that. We've also been working on hemp bill and some things with that. And to work on something outside of what traditionally we've been working on is a way to examine how things are currently set up. And like, are we going to make the same mistakes, in that,
In the hemp world,
Right.
as we have with alcohol and our convoluted 70-year-old
right. And
poorly
the answer
designed
is
system.
the answer is probably yes to some degree, but it really reflects. It's going to be a reflection of the power base involved, and hopefully,
Well, and one of the things is they always say the Constitution of the United States of America is a living document and it can respond. And our laws are not that.
yeah,
The laws and the title is a locked in thing. Do we change it? Yes, but if the system itself is not correctly designed, you can change things to make it better. Like, I mean, honestly, look at it. Arizona breweries have so many rights. It's wild that we're essentially on defense most of the time until something comes up. Oh, we need more than 7 licenses. We need other things. But
right.
yeah.
There are some people that oppose us that have no interest in changing anything because their revenue model is set. And I was thinking about this, like, we're going to get the argument that, now that business conditions are changed, they need the law to help them change their business model. I'm like, oh, you mean be like regular entrepreneurs and capitalists, as like, like reflect to address the needs and purchasing decisions of consumers? Absolutely. Like,
I hope
why is that not a...
I hope your $50 billion company that has 18 levels of management can figure that out.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. So I'm going to move full-time to represent the greatest threat to the alcohol system, and that is small breweries. I'm being facetious, obviously.
Giant threat.
But, yeah. So, I mean, that's it. What's going to change? Well, the bottom line of this organization changed a little bit when we shift, because I'm not going to be directly compensated in the same way. We're negotiating that, but I'm going to spend this period, which all of my lobbying colleagues are doing. They're spending time networking, and we'll have an opportunity to figure out what this means. But
And when you say this time, you mean this time of the
This time of year.
legislative cycle,
Right.
where we don't know who exactly is going to be in the legislature.
right,
We have some ideas,
right.
but there's no one to go to and no bill
There
to
is-
actually run.
Well, and there's after November, there's going to be a lot of activity of people wanting to reach out to people who are newly in office, and spread our message.
I have the day after the elections in my calendar as reach out to new legislators. I'll let you worry about that, though.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to draft a letter and send it out too. But that'll be my focus. And once we understand what the slate of what our platform is, and if there's anything, then we can decide how I get compensated and paid. But my interest is in building that base and, coming back to the guild and saying, hey, this is what I plan to do, and this is what it's going to take. Nevertheless, like I'm flexible. I've been saying that I wanted to work towards retirement for some time now, and at max it might be 2 years, but might be less. But if this thing works out how I think, it could be much longer. There's a whole host of other projects that I would like to initiate to get moving.
We had some talk about Arizona Beer Week. That's another project in its infancy.
Yeah. And it will also have me devote more time to the Association of Brewers Guild Professionals, because we created the structure, but we never really executed on it.
We've got the Arizona Craft Brewers Foundation.
Yeah, that needs some attention.
Philanthropic side.
Right. So,
not that you have to do all those if you don't want to.
Well, we'll see what suits
They can just languish for another few years.
We'll see what meets the business interests of the guild, and I'm willing to work on any and all of that. But I had to let my contract expire or be terminated so that we could get on to this next era. I think it was clear that if we continue in the same mode and we don't communicate that there's a path forward for not only us individually, but for the organization, that we were just going to go through the same routine. So, I don't know. Like, I thought it was a great day. Like, I was super excited to finally get all of these things out and agreed upon. And, we had a great discussion about a whole host of things, but, I don't know. Like,
sparked some thoughts in the board members, that's for sure.
Yeah, but yes, if you run into me, you can always say I'm the guy with the guild, and you can say I work for the guild and I represent Arizona breweries. I mean, that's all appropriate. But I'm going to want to engage you in probably a different way, especially if you have interests that we haven't really talked about and how you can interface with the Brewers Guild.
And if you run into me, I will probably be wearing a crown. It's getting made right now. I may have put an order in, and I've got a crown coming with like gems.
Right. So yeah, I mean, that's why we were hemming and hawing. Like, we wanted to make sure that our members hear about this first. So this will be released after
you write your letter to the members, not me. I'll put it out. You just have to write it.
Okay, but you probably have to write a letter about, don't they have what it means to you?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
We have till Thursday at 10 a.m. to get that done.
Why Thursday at 10 a.m.?
Because this releases on Thursday, and
yeah, we can release it anytime we want on Thursday. I usually do it at midnight on Thursday, but all I've ever said is there will be a podcast available on Thursday. That's how I've operated. I'd like to get it, cut and ready to go and loaded so it goes live at midnight, just so I don't have to deal with it during the day. But it's not a big deal. I can put any time I want on it, especially since this is going to be less than 30 minutes, I think. I think that's a lot to digest anyway.
That's our shortest podcast ever. I really don't have any beer news to go over, honestly.
Really?
Like, Sober October just started.
Well, today is...
And fuck those guys. Oh, what? Not that I think people shouldn't do that if they want to, but
you're yelling at
beer companies
made
that
a
are
mistake.
Advertising Sober October kind of pissed me off. And the good news, Aldi says they're up 50% in beer over last year.
Aldi? Don't they have their own custom brands?
They do have some of those.
Hey,
what's going on? I have some beer for you from Red House. Oh, you're the best.
Oh, yeah. Right on.
Cool.
Yeah. Just anywhere on the... Thank you.
Those are beers for our Arizona Craft Beer Awards ceremony, which is
that's some news.
Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday.
It's going to be exciting. We've got the Directors Award. Mm-hmm. We've got all kinds of exciting things.
We do. We have a Directors Award, and we're going to have a certificate of some sort to announce for a certain part of Arizona for
Oh yeah.
reasons.
We'll have some celebrities.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I've asked.
It's gonna be
we're working
amazing.
through it. Yeah. But yeah, that is going to be a fun time. And that's when we will also announce that this happened.
Okay, great.
And then we will announce it at the Great American Beer Fest. For all our colleagues. And we'll announce it at the first the first annual meeting in December. And we'll announce it.
I think that's enough.
I don't know.
I think that's plenty.
Yeah.
I don't know. You're a ceremony guy. You do it. You do it.
For sure. For sure.
Hey, thanks
Anywhere,
so much.
man, just-
couch. Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate
I'm
it.
Andrew.
I'm Rob.
I'm Mikey.
Nice
Thanks,
to meet you.
Mikey.
Work at the one at the brewery in Cadex.
Right on.
Cool.
What do you do there?
I'm logistics coordinator.
Oh,
So
right on.
I kind of take care of everything going in and out of Phoenix. Soon to be taking things to PV when they open, but
Yeah.
I take things from Prescott to Phoenix, Phoenix to Prescott,
Yeah.
up to Suit Hall when they need it.
You know, our friend Ted Golden used to work at Four Peaks, but now does his own thing.
Yes, it's good.
His card was beer traffic controller.
Yeah.
That is a very accurate description.
Yeah.
That's a very accurate description. I like even today, today I had Scout show up, the Steward Scout. I had Scout show up. I had somebody come pick up some spent barrels, and then I had a grain truck show up at the same time. So like I'm by myself. I'm like.
Oh.
I'm like flipping out for a second because none of my managers were there. I'm like, I call in. I'm like, I need you to come just help me for 1 second. Help me literally just control traffic because you've seen our parking lots
Right.
this
Right.
big.
Both of them.
Yeah,
Both
Yeah.
of the parking
both of them.
spaces.
And then I had three. I would like just literally come direct traffic because
Right.
if people are gonna get mad, they're gonna have to sit here for 10 minutes while we
Right.
get 3 trucks in and out. So it was literally controlling traffic and getting beer out.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
thanks for taking the time to drop those beers off.
This
Appreciate it, man.
This is a happy moment for you. Bring these out. It's simple, easy, amazing. So enjoy it.
Sweet.
We will.
Thanks. Oh, are you coming to the Arizona Craft Beer Awards on Sunday?
I'm gonna try.
Sunday.
Yeah, I'm gonna try.
And you can
It's-
see
it's a
where
good
those
time.
beers-
yeah,
a good time.
I've never been, so I like everyone I know has been.
Yeah. Go. Tell him you're going instead, or come with him. Or,
Yeah, bring friends.
I think I will. Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Hey,
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mikey.
Yeah.
We need that guy to keep it to 30
Exciting.
minutes.
Yeah. God.
That
guy's the
gonna
best.
We're gonna run short, so like all that extra padding.
Well, I do want to mention one other thing.
Yeah.
So Sober October, fuck those guys, not the people, the organizations. Aldi, up 50% of beer, and this week was packed with beer podcasts that are worth listening to. If you are a beer fan, if you sell beer, or if you make beer, we've got Drink Beer, Think Beer. They put one out. Kodo Design did a new marketing, a packaging refresh. Not a
Right.
branding refresh, packaging
Right.
refresh, how to do it, when to do it, why you might want to do it. Brulosophy put out I forget what theirs is about.
Brulosophy.
Brulosophy did a water profile show.
Okay.
Steal This Beer did what?
I've
forget.
been out of this last couple of weeks. I've been out of the loop and all my reading. I had all that other stuff, but look, if you're not
Taproom
looking
Success did basically extreme customer service and how
Yeah.
to improve taproom sales through loving the people that come in even more.
right.
Liquid Assets is a podcast by Rabobank, which is a very large international bank, and they did a podcast about beer, which they do like maybe twice a month.
Right.
The MBAA did a very interesting podcast about Kveik East. That was awesome. And then Craft Beer and Brewing also had one come out this week that was interesting. So that is a lot
Well,
this
those are-
week.
There are some that I listen to on the regular, but I don't do Coda Design, Brulosophy, Taproom Success, Liquid Assets, the MBAA. So like we did a thing where we talked about our podcast. We should probably do that again and like it would be good to sort of talk about the different podcasts and why they're appropriate. Because like if you are a brewer, MBAA is your jam,
Yeah.
right? If you're
And Brewosophy too.
okay, so
Although that's more on the home brewing side, but
Right.
all the lessons transfer over. They also do super in-depth studies about stuff that no professional brewer has time to do.
right, but that's in the interests of anyone who's making beer. It may not be a business interest, but
For sure.
an interest. So
Yep.
we should probably consider,
Lining
coming
some
up with our
stuff up.
list, and because I need to reset some of mine. There's some things that are going to fall off. There's like every once in a while beer podcasts you listen to, like, man, they're just, and you're just like, why do I keep listening to this? Why do like I just feel like I should just tell them like this is. Look, we get on this thing and we say things that aren't factually true all the time. Like we get it wrong, but man, when they go down and spend an hour on something, like I don't know what you're talking about. Like why? But I can't stop listening. But maybe I should just cut it off, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm not being critical.
Self-care,
but
Rob.
It's just for what I do. It's like I don't know why. I can't.
Yeah. Like I don't listen. There's a lot of podcasts out there that have very interesting subjects, but a lot of it is like beer reviews, and I just don't have time for that.
Yeah.
It's all right. Well, congratulations on your new role. I think it's time for us to sign off.
Yeah. Congratulations on your existing role that will now get further attention and appreciation, and you'll have control over all the things that you feel are important, and I will kind of quietly. It's like it.
The podcast will go on. Don't worry.
There is a yeah. Oh yeah, we didn't even say that. There will be a little feeling of loss, but honestly, I had a lot more angst about it before we had this meeting because I think I'm telling everybody, I'm telegraphing what this is all about, but there's still like, oh, there was still, some.
I think it was the mechanics that
I-
everyone was really concerned about, and what exactly does it look like.
I
So.
know. I said I feel like I'm attending my own wake, but it's not that.
It wasn't that. You said it that at the beginning.
I did.
Hopefully, you don't feel that way. At the
No.
end.
And I said I'm dressed a little differently than I normally am, but I said I want you to know it looks kind of the same. This is more what I would wear if I'm doing city meetings and stuff, not the brew stuff. But if I have to show up to a legislative hearing, we're doing collab beer, and I've got grain dust all over me, so be it.
That's how it goes. Yeah.
All right.
All right. This isn't a beer podcast. It's a podcast about beer. And
Sometimes the beer finds you.
There you go.
And my title is.
and you are the director of government affairs and community relations. Boom. Got it. Nailed
It's
it.
meant to be.